Ladies and gentlemen, happy Monday. It is yet another week. We are alive. Let us go. Do what we gotta do. Today we got Mr. Darrell Brooks, the classic Darrell Brooks shenanigans. But today we have the officer that actually tried to stop him. Everybody tried to stop him, but he was the one that really reacted. He fired a few shots at Darrell Brooks while he was trying to get out of the parade, knocking people over, doing all types of crazy shit. So let's get straight into Sir Darrell Brooks, see what he has to say. He's going to deny a lot of things, including being who he is, Mr. Darrell Brooks. So grab anything you guys need. Let's get straight into this. Today I got the good old fashioned H2O. We got that agua, that water. Let's get straight into this video.
What does the purple line on that map depict?
The purple line is the parade route for the Christmas parade.
But then what happens to the purple line at Maine and Wisconsin?
That is where the line stops. That is, I believe, where the vehicle left the parade route.
Okay, so right here at the end, E Main Street and E Main and then Wisconsin Street must be on the intersection, but it's right there. So Darrell ran through basically the entire parade, going crazy out here. That's wild.
The vehicles and the groups and the participants of the parade who were marching on the parade route, where did they go once they got to the intersection of Maine and Wisconsin?
They continued down the parade route, which was eastbound on Wisconsin Avenue, and then after reaching Maple Avenue, then they were to go southbound. These radios also have the ability to scan other channels, so I was scanning channel 1, which is what the road squads were working on. At that time, I heard a call for service on channel 1 for the road squads to be dispatched to, and it was some sort of domestic disturbance or fight in Frame Park.
Little did he know that that was going to cause the entire day for him to change. Like, he was in a story that he didn't even know was playing out. He was just, going throughout his day, checking through the channels. He was like, what's the road squad doing? Oh, there's a domestic issue. Okay, they're going to go sort that out. Now, what's his name? Nick? When Nick told the police that, he has a knife or whatever, it's possible Darrell Brooks heard this and got super nervous. Like, when he got scared and fled, like literally fled the scene, he was probably driving extra reckless. Like, get the hell out the way. Get the fuck out the way. I'm trying to. So, obviously, like, dude, you're causing more attention. But I'm thinking that heightened his sense of, like, flee. Like, when it's real men coming at him, he's not trying to hear nothing. He only beats women. That's his policy.
Which was east of my location. I heard squads responding to that from the south portion of the city. And Northwest Avenue or West Avenue is one of the main thoroughfares in our city to get from the southern portion to the northern portion, or at least to the downtown area. And I could hear squads coming from that area, so I blocked traffic to allow the squads to get through. And then I just continued on with my parade duties.
Being a top-notch cop, man, he heard what was going on, intuitively just went there, opened up for the cops, let them through, not knowing that that little domestic issue was going to stem out to be this entire disaster. And that's why you never know. That's why every time a cop pulls up, try to be as, compliant as possible, because they never know what they're walking into, and they may act irrationally, because they're scared. So
after that, approximately a minute or so later, I believe I started hearing radio traffic on both Channel 3 and Channel 1. I believe either a reserve officer or a community service officer on Channel 3 requested an ambulance somewhere on the eastern portion of the parade route. I remember it was sort of towards the beginning of the parade. They were asking for an ambulance because someone had been hit.
And just imagine if he had taken a different street. Like, he probably would have went home, took a nap, and dealt with his other legal issues another day. But or maybe it was one of the two things. He just hit the wrong street, was panicking, and just said, fuck these people, I'm just driving through them. Or he, was intentionally looking to do that, but I don't see why he would intentionally go for like hunt a parade down. So either way, he's a piece of shit, but it's weird, man.
Then what happened?
I believed that it was something stemming from the domestic or the fight, because during that fight someone had fled on scene and someone had been flagged down who had reported this incident. So I believed that the hit was something to do with the physical altercation that had happened.
Oh, he didn't even know that hit meant by a car. He thought somebody had been hit like with the fist.
Months later, this was all sort of spun out of control very quickly. Radio traffic became more and more difficult as Channel 1 and Channel 3, so as officers on the road and officers and community service officers and reserve officers were working the parade, everyone was starting to get on the radio, and more people started calling for ambulances. And then I could tell as people were calling for them, it was moving westbound on the parade route.
Damn, imagine all the channels from all the stations just ringing off one after the other. And you're like, what the hell could really be happening? And then you just have to think, like, is it really a car? Like,
What did you do as a result of hearing that information on the radio?
It was tough to piece all together. I didn't know exactly what was going on. I knew something was happening, but I didn't know exactly what. I have a collar mic, so my microphone was approximately right about here on my chest. I don't have an earpiece. That's just what I use. So between trying to listen to the radio microphone and the parade, it was sort of hard to piece together. But after a few minutes, I realized something was happening. I began walking away from my post, and I walked past my barricade sort of into the parade route. And as I did that, I was looking more to like northeast. I couldn't see that much of the parade because where West Main Street ends right there, it's got a hard turn to go southbound to Wisconsin. So I could only see approximately, I don't even know, maybe 100 yards or less of the parade route. And at that point, that is when I started hearing more screams. And this time it wasn't just screams on my radio, it was screams like
in real
my
life.
vicinity that I could hear. And at that moment, I saw a red blur come past the Wisconsin House westbound.
Damn.
And make a very hard braking maneuver to navigate the left-hand turn on West Main Street to go.
His voice is trembling while he's recounting this, but imagine you're just hearing that on your walkie, and then all of a sudden it's in real life. Like, what is going on? I could imagine why they would think it's like a attack, you know? Like, I could imagine why they would think that. Just little old Brooks. Little old Brooksy coming through.
And let's put
Southbound.
Exhibit 1. Sorry, let's put Exhibit 1 back up, please.
As you're putting Exhibit 1 back up, I just want to make a record of the hand gesture he made previously when testifying about, I believe it was his radio microphone. He used his right hand, I would say about heart height, to indicate his, I believe he called it a lapel.
Now, I'm not sure how you guys feel about him shooting. I did not expect him to pull a gun and just start blasting. Like, there was people everywhere. You don't know if there's people in the house. Now, I don't know if he just was confident in his shots and all his shots hit the vehicle and just didn't hit Brooks. We'll find out. But I don't know why he would just start blasting, you know, just we'll find out. We'll see his reasoning. He didn't hit nobody.
Mic or something to do with his radio and where he would hear from. Go ahead.
Objection. I don't think he said lapel. I think he referred to the
Shut up,
microphone
Brooks.
just being here and not using the earpiece. That's just
Your objection is noted. The state can seek clarification, but the fact, I did my best to describe the action of the officer on the stand. Go ahead.
Thank you.
As you look at the screen, and the vehicle's parked there, so I can't even see pretty much anything in front of the Wisconsin House on Main Street from my location. I knew it was now people hit by a vehicle, and I knew that those initial requests were so far eastbound on the parade, and now I'm towards the end of the parade, or at least the end of the portion of Main Street. I knew that this vehicle had likely, and based on the speed of the vehicle, that the vehicle had ran through the entire parade route and likely severely injured people or killed people. And at that point,
That's crazy. It's almost like he meant to do that. I know I just said he may have just turned down the wrong street, but how do you can hear a parade for at least 2 or 3 blocks, even if your windows are up. So it kind of wants to feel like he just ran through that thing.
I thought it was a terror attack at the parade.
Look at his eyes. Look at his face. No, at that point of time, okay, maybe if that's his reasoning, man. Maybe it's time to pull the strap out and start blasting. If you think it's one of them boys, like, it's time to start shooting, man. But damn.
What happened as the SUV continued southbound?
As the vehicle navigated its turn to go southbound, it accelerated towards me.
It really felt like that.
That is when I knew I had to use deadly force to stop the threat. And as the vehicle was approaching me, I remembered making the decision that the easiest shot likely would have been through the windshield. However, I remembered the entire backdrop
Is the
were
parade.
just surrounded with kids and people. So I waited for the vehicle to pass me and tried to direct my rounds as most southern as I could because there were less people in that direction.
Oh my God. He just used the word less people in that direction, Brody. You just don't take the shot if there's that, like a parade of all places. Brother man just started unloading, bro. I don't know if I would have made that call. Maybe I would have made the wrong call. But clearly he didn't kill Brooks. So I think it was the wrong call. If he had hit him, then I would have said, you know what? He got him, though. Nobody died. Well, a lot of people died, but no one else died, though. But at this point, it's at the end of the parade. You know, the car is speeding through. The car is trying to exit the parade at this point. At this point, let patrol get him. Don't let rounds off close to the parade. Like, I feel like that's just not... I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. What would you have done? Any ex-cops out there, specifically the ex-police officers that are in my channel, because I know it's a few of y'all, let me know what you would have done. Would you have followed this, this action, or would you have done something else?
Where were you standing in the intersection as the vehicle passed you?
At this point, I had walked northbound slightly, so I believe, just out of the intersection at West in Wisconsin. So I was on, I believe my shots, I was technically on Main Street at the time when I began shooting.
Using cardinal directions, can you describe for us which side of you the SUV passed?
Objection, what is cardinal?
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Overruled, you dumbass. You can't ask questions. This is not law school. And even in law school, they'll say, go read a book, idiot. We're here to discuss. We're not here to... Darrell Brooks. Idiot of the year, bro.
Vehicle passed to the east of me.
What direction were you facing as it first started to pass you?
I was facing north.
So that would have been on the vehicle would have passed you on your right.
Correct.
Okay. How close did you come to the vehicle as it passed you?
It was very close. I believe at the time, I remember stepping to my left. It was so close I felt like I could touch the side of the vehicle.
Damn. He was trying to
Could you
take him
see
out,
into
too.
the vehicle?
Yes, I could.
How many people could you see inside of the vehicle?
I saw one person.
Where was that person in the vehicle?
That person was the driver's seat of the vehicle.
I mean, he's big and obvious. Looked like a maniac. Looked like a bum. Dreadlocks everywhere. Like, not even put together. Like, he sticks out and just driving this thing. I don't even know if old boy had a license or I don't think he did have a license. But, yeah.
Did you get a good look at the driver?
Yes, I did.
Do you see the driver in the courtroom today?
Yes, I do.
Your Honor, I'd ask Mr. Brooks please remove his mask for a moment.
Remove it, big dog.
Thank you for doing that, Mr. Brooks. His mask is off.
Now, hold on. Okay, so remember I said how he does not consent to be calling that name. Let's back it up.
Thank you for doing that, Mr. Brooks. His mask is off. Thank you for doing that, Mr. Brooks.
That was affirmation, you idiot. So you are Mr. Brooks. Shook his head. Yeah. Mr. Brooks. Yeah. Thank you. You know, no, yes, Your Honor. Yeah. No, I got you. What a piece of shit. You're an idiot.
Can you identify the driver in the courtroom if you see him?
Yes, the driver is seated at the defense wearing a blue tie and blue shirt underneath his suit jacket.
All right, everybody, hold up real quick. I just got to shout everybody out. You guys up to 3K subscribers so fast. That shit is crazy. I appreciate y'all. Get me up to 5K. You know, tell your grandma, your nephew, your niece, your auntie, anybody you know. Get me up to 5K. Let's keep this thing rolling. Appreciate y'all.
That's the record
Straight up confirming exactly what they're saying.
reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
The record will reflect the witness has identified the defendant as the driver of the vehicle he saw on November 21.
What happened after the vehicle passed you on your right?
After the vehicle passed me on my right, I began firing at the driver of the vehicle, and as that happened, he ran over the barricades and ultimately left the parade route and continued southbound on Northwest Avenue.
So maybe if he didn't even shoot at him, he would have continued down that parade. Okay. Maybe that's even further of a reason to do so. Maybe he would have took out a few more people if he didn't do that.
Avenue is how many blocks from Maple Avenue?
One block.
Objection, relevancy.
Horrible.
And to what direction is west from Maple?
West Avenue is 1 block to the west from Maple.
I'd like to show for the witness only, please, exhibit number 57. Do you recognize this photograph?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
This is that same vehicle. It appears to be just moments after that first picture we just were shown.
Does this appear to be a screenshot from the video in exhibit 57?
Yes, it does.
Is this an accurate depiction of how the vehicle and the driver looked to you that day?
Yes.
Move exhibit 169 into evidence and ask to publish.
All right, so they're just clarifying. They're making sure that they get this on the record and that there's no misunderstanding. Everything is on the record. You could go back and read it. This was Darrell Brooks. It looked like him. We now know his identity. This was definitely him in the driver's seat. No one else was in there. That type of stuff. Let's move straight along. All right, so now we're going to go into a little bit of Darrell Brooks's point of view on the whole situation. Now, he has a difference of an opinion here on what he could and couldn't do during that time of the parade. So let's see what he has to say here.
When you were asked the question of were there any other officers?
When you were axed, I didn't know they took an axe to his neck and chopped him. When you were axed, Darrell Brooks, man, he thinks he's a lawyer, but he's actually just an idiot on stand.
Along the route, or I don't know if that was referring to side exits or anything of that nature, but I recall you stating that you gave an estimate, stating that you weren't sure where other officers were stationed, but you gave an approximate estimate. Would that be fair to say?
That is correct.
And would that have been officers stationed at different cross streets?
That is correct.
Do you know if those cross streets were barricaded?
I know that there were barricades across numerous intersections for the parade route. That's how we shut down traffic in the downtown area for parades.
So pretty much every side street is barricaded.
I think what he's trying to say is like, oh, I got into the parade, but there's no way for me to get out. So I had to just plow people down instead of like, stopping the car.
I can't give you specifics on what streets were barricaded, but yes, the vast majority of streets are barricaded to stop traffic for the parade route.
Can you pull up Exhibit 1 and publish?
The state would please do that. Thank you.
If the state would please do that, thank you. I don't like Darrell. She's too soft. Just my opinion. Darrell's too soft on him.
Jury have you
You can avoid a mistrial without being this soft and cordial to such an asshole.
Can you see? Well, I know you can. Can you see the red lines on this map that we're looking at?
Yes.
And what do those red lines
They're
constitute?
barricades, dumbass.
Barricades.
So would it be fair to say that there's a red line at every cross street that we can see on this map? That would be
Do you mean
Start-
along the parade route or the
along
entire map?
along the parade route, starting at East Main Street. There's
Like, imagine how that sounds on the record. He asked that question, do you see the cross streets? And she's like, do you mean on the parade route? Yeah, on the parade route. I would be reading that shit like, what happened here? What? Like, bro.
a red mark. Oh, I didn't mean to put that arrow. Can we clear that? I was trying to put like a little dot. Starting there, there's a red line there. There's 2 at Buckley.
Hold on, just so the record is clear, he put a mark at near the intersection of East Main and White Rock Avenue. So from that location to where?
There's 2 at
She is kind of leading him to his own demise. I'm not going to lie. She's really just doing her best to let him hang himself. I just don't appreciate how passive she is about it.
So it would be fair to say you also couldn't see what was happening along the parade route on Main Street. Would that be fair to say?
That is correct.
So it would be also fair to say that everything that you knew up until that point came over the radio and you didn't have firsthand knowledge.
That is correct.
If you were to count, fair to say, come out of Darrell Brooks's mouth, you would probably hit like 500 at least in one day in court. You would probably hear like 500 fair to says out of Darrell Brooks because he has that much of a limited vocabulary, bro.
You also stated that after a few minutes of hearing these, I guess, radio reports, you said after a few minutes, you noticed something was going on. Do you recall from the reports how long this vehicle traveled along the parade route? An estimate of the time that it traveled down the parade route?
I do not know how long the vehicle was on the parade route for. If I had to estimate, I would estimate approximately 1 to 2.5 minutes.
Damn, so
2
he was
minutes
driving
maybe.
fast.
Would you say that it's fair to say that that's relatively a short amount of time?
I would agree with that.
So what do you mean by after a few minutes you noticed something was going on?
Because after a few minutes, what I meant by that was the initial call for service at the boat launch, or for that domestic fight in Frame Park. From that time frame, from when squads were responding to there to the time that I had shots fired, that is what I mean by a few minutes.
So he was out here speeding. It was only a few minutes from the domestic issue to the parade. Straight there. And then it was like 1 to 2 minutes into the parade just knocking people over. What are you thinking, bro? Your life is going to get a lot worse than a domestic abuse charge now that you've run over the dancing grannies, dog. Like, what are you doing?
You have to take into account the time for squads responding to that call.
I don't know police protocol, so
Yeah, of
Just
course you
asking.
don't. Double horn ass
Mr. Brooks,
looking.
please ask your next question.
I'm getting to it.
No, right, but I have to advise the jury to disregard the comment because it's not testimony.
Doesn't say anything.
And you stated that. Well, let's go to.
She's like, yeah, he's hanging himself. Don't worry about this. We're just here to chill out today.
Yeah, go ahead. You don't need, do you need that? We're gonna turn it off.
Yeah, you can take that down. Sorry about that. Why are you so adamant about the
Why are you so eminent? Does he mean why are you so adamant about that? You fucking dumbass.
name of the suspect that you just testified to not being aware of at the time? That you testified to, in fact, being told.
Sorry, I'm confused by your question. Can you say it again?
I think it was clear, but I'll say it again.
Thank you.
He's gonna use a different word. Check it out. Wait for it. Different word incoming. 3.
Well, I'll say it this way.
Uh-huh.
You testified to not being aware of the suspect's name at the time.
Correct.
You also testified to being told of the name, correct?
Correct. I don't know how I came about your name. I would assume it was through the investigation at the police department.
And were you, in fact, part of that investigation?
No, I was not.
He didn't know that.
So
He didn't
it
know
would be
that.
fair to say that by you using a name,
I promise you, Darrell Brooks did not know that he wasn't a part of the investigation. He got called in because he was a witness, you idiot.
you would not be short. How can you be short?
I'll object.
I'll object.
Grounds.
Argument.
Dumbassery.
It's been asked, it's been
I object, Your Honor. Dumbassery. I don't know what else, I don't know what else to say.
answered.
This
It's
is a
argumentative.
spectacle.
The objection is sustained. Please ask your next question.
Look at the eyebrow. He's just having a good time. Here's better than work anyway.
When asked about what you were aiming at when you fired, you didn't give a definitive answer. You were aiming for the driver.
Hell yeah.
I felt like I gave a pretty definitive answer. My answer was you,
You
Darrell
were aiming
Brooks.
for the driver.
Yes,
My answer was you.
pretty definitive.
You, Darrell Brooks. My boy Bryce, man. Man, yeah, you guys were telling me there were some more people. He was the most aggressive. Carpenter wasn't even as aggressive. He was like, I was aiming at you, Darrell Brooks, speaking, standing there.
I identified the person I was shooting at.
what part of the driver's body could you see when the vehicle
His
passed?
dreads.
When the vehicle was approaching me, I could see the silhouette of his face and upper portion of his body.
His dreads. His
Can you
nasty
describe what
ass
you mean by
dreads.
silhouette?
Can you describe to me my silhouette? He is identifying himself. He's not like, at least if you stay in third person, remain in third person. It's like normal. It's like good story writing, bro. This guy is falling in and out of third. And can you describe to me my silhouette? Me, Darrell Brooks, you fucking dumbass. Like, bro, what is he doing?
The upper portion of a person's body, I would say, from maybe chest, shoulders, and head and face.
You said silhouette though. What
That's
is
the
a
silhouette. There's no
The
features.
outer
It's just
portions of what would be like your shoulder down your arms to your chest. The silhouette would be the outer portion of it.
That would be the upper half, not the silhouette.
Oh, guys, he's stupid. He doesn't know what silhouette means. The silhouette is just a cutout. You can't see features and details. You moron. You idiot.
What do you mean by silhouette?
The objection is sustained. It's Mr. Brooks is not asking a question. It was argumentative. The jury can certainly
would it be
decide what that means, but
would
he's
it-
answered the question.
The jury can certainly decide what that means. Hey, she's giving them little jabs. I'm not going to lie. The people for the jury who aren't idiots, you can just decide what silhouette means for yourself. Google it, look it up real quick, and
It'd be fair to say that that would be equivalent to a profile.
what?
What do you mean by a profile?
A profile would be sort of like a side angle view. Would it be fair to say that a silhouette would be more of an outline that would be kind of similar to a profile?
Oh my God, Darrell.
I don't know exactly what you're asking here, but I can tell you when the vehicle was driving towards me, I could see your face, and then as the vehicle drove to my right, yes, then I saw the side of your face, and so then, yes, as a vehicle passes you, you see different portions of the driver, I guess you could say.
So
And so
multiple
you aim towards what you can
profiles.
see.
Correct.
So that would be the upper part, as you say, you said the shoulder, you made I think it was your left hand pointing to your right shoulder.
You don't know what your elbow
shoulder
is?
and up. Silhouette, as you say.
That is what I could see when you were driving at me. You asked me what I could see of you, and that is what I could see of you in the vehicle when you were approaching me.
The question now, though, is that what you aim for?
I was aiming at you, yes.
At what you can see.
I was aiming at you in the driver's seat, yes.
Shoulder, as you pointed to, and up, correct? Would that be fair to say?
I guess, yeah, sure.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'll give him that. I'll give him that. These questions are grueling, bro. Jeez.
Firing a weapon of your caliber, would any of those shots be kill shots?
Probably not.
Yes.
Would it be fair to say that firing a kill shot at anyone would terrify him?
I'm sure being shot at is terrifying. Yes, it is.
So what's his defense here? You shot at me and I'm offended by it? You offended me by shooting at me, sir. You scared me. I did not like that. Shame.
So it'd be fair to say you were shooting to kill.
No shit.
No.
Yes, you were. Come on, stop lying.
So would it be fair to say that, judging based on what you see, that you testified to, a silhouette from about here that you pointed to, from the shoulder, using your left hand, you pointed at your right shoulder from here up, and you just acknowledged that any one of those 3 shots could have been kill shots. Would it be fair to say that you were aiming to kill? Shooting to kill, rather. Not aiming to kill, but shooting to kill.
No.
So, in your estimate, what do you think you would have hit if you just testified to saying that you aimed at the driver? What were you estimating to hit?
Well, my intention was to shoot you in the upper portion of the body. However, my intention was not to kill you. My intention was to stop the threat that you were posing to everyone in the downtown area at the Christmas parade.
Keep referring to the you again.
He's so offended. He's so offended that he got shot at.
That's not a question, so. By your estimation, acknowledging that those were kill shots, if you connected with any of those shots, is it possible the driver could have been killed?
Yes.
Pose your questions properly, man. He's been trying to ask that one question this long. This long.
And would it be fair to say that that's deadly force?
Yes.
Do you think it would have been possible to aim at the tire of the vehicle?
No.
Why not? Would shooting the tire of the vehicle not stop the vehicle?
No, it would not have.
Yeah, no, the car would have kept on rolling. You know? He could have took out a whole block of other people. You know what I mean? But anyways, people, we're going to stop it right here. We're going to continue with this cross-examination, but honestly, he just kind of just fumbles around the rest of the time. The most coherent part of this entire trial was when the defense was questioning him, and then Darrell just goes on a tangent about, you is not me, Darrell Brooks isn't me, who are you referring to? And then all of a sudden, he's acknowledging himself. An idiot. Anyways, people, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it. Make sure you tell your auntie and your nephews, man. Tell your family members. hit me up, bang my line, subscribe, you know what I mean? But until the next video, people, I love y'all. Stay safe, stay inside. Peace out, man.